Hi, my name is Maddie Peterson, and you're watching Geographic. Last week's topic covered carnivorous plants, and this week we're going to take a look at a more current issue. With the aftermath of Hurricanes Harvey and Irma beginning to settle in, we feel that it is important to understand what a hurricane is and how it forms. This week's topic is tropical cyclones. In the past few weeks, we have all heard about hurricanes. But have you ever heard of a typhoon or a cyclone? Well, these storms are actually the same thing as a hurricane, but we call them different names based on their region. The scientific term for cyclones, typhoons, and hurricanes is tropical cyclone. And no matter what they are called, these giant storms form the same way. Tropical cyclones only form over warm tropical ocean waters because they use the warm air coming off of those waters as fuel. As the warm air rises, there is less air at the surface of the water, which creates a low-pressure environment. Because nature likes to remain in equilibrium, the surrounding air from high-pressure areas rushes into this low-pressure pocket. Then, this air will be warmed by the ocean waters and rise as well. Once the air rises, it will begin a cooling process that forms clouds. The entire system of clouds and wind will grow and spin as it is being fed by the warm water. But why do these big storms spin? Tropical cyclones spin because of a phenomenon called the Coriolis effect. We all know that the Earth is a sphere, and as a result of that fact, the diameter of the Earth is going to be much larger at the center of the Earth than at the poles. If we are looking at just one rotation of the Earth, we know that the whole sphere has to arrive at the same point at the same time. However, because of the larger diameter near the center of the Earth has to move faster than the poles to arrive at the same time. This faster spin causes winds to deflect from their expected patterns. In the northern hemisphere, tropical cyclones are going to spin counterclockwise, and in the southern hemisphere, they are going to spin clockwise. Fun fact, the Coriolis effect also explains why the toilet flushes in opposite directions in the northern and southern hemispheres. As humans, we like to categorize things, and tropical cyclones are no exception. We determine the category of a tropical cyclone based on their wind speed and storm surge, with Category 1 being the slowest and causing the least amount of damage at landfall, and Category 5 being the fastest cyclone with devastating impacts at landfall. With that being said, it is important to recognize that tropical cyclones are not just a scientific phenomenon. These storms have a huge impact on our environment and the people who live in hurricane zones. Hurricane Harvey's impact can be described as no less than catastrophic, with over 27 trillion gallons of rain being dropped on Texas and Louisiana. Hurricane Irma's Category 5 landfall on the Caribbean islands resulted in such extreme damage that we can see the before and after effects from space. The brown coloration of the islands after the storm is due to the incredible wind speed ripping vegetation off the island, and salty ocean waters killing the vegetation that survived. And in the United States, Irma's flooding has caused millions in Florida to be without power. Combined, these storms are already estimated to have over $200 billion in damage, and that number just keeps rising. To help with relief, you can visit the American Red Cross or Salvation Army websites to donate now. Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Geographic, and as always, be sure to like, follow, and subscribe to UNCW TealTV. See you next week.